their identity and their style of play throughout a full preseason, and we're starting to see some of that throughout this first half.
Helped on for Gutierrez, his advantage given. Now drifting through the area. He'll go for goal, and he fires in the opening goal. Brian Gutierrez has his shooting boots on in 2024, and he's given the visitors the lead.
A little bit of space to be able to cut inside. No one steps to him. Wiggles his way through pressure. We've seen this time and time again, and then says, thank you very much, I'll go myself. Shaqiri does such a good job of holding off Martinez to be able to buy the time for Gutierrez, and then what a strike that is. Just top corner, says thank you. 1-0 Chicago Fire away from home, and really against the run of play.
Hopes for Haile Selassie. Nice interchange between the two, and still Gutierrez and Haile Selassie, save from Zemla, and the chance for Herbers, and Gutierrez, and Herbers! Absolute chaos, resulting in Chicago having their lead back. Against his former team, Fabian Herbers has put Chicago 2-1 to the good.
It takes to win these games. Well, the little combination play starts with Acosta, and then you got 3-4 players around, and then they're crashing the box. Herbers comes out, big time challenge initially from Glesnes, but they have the numbers. They continue to pepper the goal, and then they go to ground, and Herbers makes it 2-1 away from home. Big time goal for the Chicago Fire late in this game.
How about that touch from Brian Gutierrez amidst all the mayhem?
Shaqiri has scored all 5 of his Major League Soccer penalty kicks. He has the chance here to level the scores on the stroke of half-time at Soldier Field. Shaqiri scores, and we're level. The red flags flying again at Soldier Field. Chicago were behind for barely 5 minutes.
Studs up in the Gutierrez, goes to VAR. The referee points to the spot, and Shaqiri makes no mistake. With confidence, steps onto it with his lovely...
And into Camacho, Shaqiri.
Oh, what's a goal?
Haile Selassie and Herbers with the flag raised. And Chicago mutes its celebration.
They look close. There's the run from Haile Selassie. It's not offside, I don't think. Was that on time? They got to stop that right as it's leaving his foot.
And Rashawn Clark will check to see if Haile Selassie and Herbers, that combination was indeed onside. Quite the response, though, from the Fire.
Oh, there it is. That's onside. That looks onside to me.
Morera looking to keep him on, and Herbers, with that ball played, was behind the ball. It's pretty indicative evidence that it should be a goal.
Goal.
Fabian Herbers has the Fire's first goal in Columbus in 5 years.
MLSpickham.com to sign up and learn how to play for a chance to win match tickets and VIP experiences. Lovely ball through for Haile Selassie. Angle against him. Doesn't matter. A goal to fuel the fire.
Looking for a response here, and the question is that onside or not? As that ball is played from Chihos to Haile Selassie, it looked just a little bit offside to me, and Sirois gets caught at that near post, out of position, cheating. Selassie just picks out that near post to bring Chicago.
So, as we said, just 7 minutes remaining. Gutierrez scores. Now then. Game on at Soldier Field. And the pathway presented by a local
from the spot. Short run up. Quick jabs into the ground.
Acosta's ball in. Put it away momentarily. Here's Acosta again. High hanging ball into Iran. And towards goal it goes! Hugo Kuipers off the mark finally for Chicago Fire. And with 4.5 minutes to go.
The first one is always the most difficult to get. And what a time to get it for Kuipers, who stays alive in the box. It just sniffs out.
Here comes Chicago one more time. Acosta forward. And it's an awkward moment. Oh my word! Chicago Fire have won it. The Windy City plays its part in a vital Chicago Fire goal.
Well, what a way to flip the script from his own half. That Chicago wind with some home cooking there. This ball goes from one end to the next. Sirois can't track it. Comes off his fingertips. No one can believe it. But the Chicago Fire faithful will be happy to see it. Their new signing.
Haile Selassie. Nicely hit behind for Fabian Herbers in the penalty area. Score for Hugo Kuipers! 2-2. The DP number 9 starting to find that form that Chicago brought him in for as the Fire take the lead away from home.
Well, we talked about it with New England creating the overloads, but the exact same thing for Chicago. In the midfield, Romney gets sucked out right there, opens up the space in behind him, and then they got a 2v1 situation. It's the exact right opportunity, just slots it across. Kuipers gets his head up, you see the look right there, and all Kuipers has to do, keep his foot through it, keep it on frame, and that makes it 1-0 away from home, the Chicago Fire.
Hugo Kuipers.
Sheridan Shaqiri takes responsibility for this one. He's already made one spot kick this season. Shaqiri steps up and rifles it in. A dream start for the Chicago Fire. And Sheridan Shaqiri shows off his high noon accuracy.
Yeah, Eric, this man's focused. He's poised. You can see it on his face. He steps up, makes no mistake about it. Wrong foots Clark and goes just across the grain here. Xherdan Shaqiri gets his second on the season, and if you give him this, he's gonna punish you. I told you in the open, you cannot give Xherdan Shaqiri the ability to punish you, especially early in the way. So when you're trying to figure out ahead of the game, if you just look at the fixtures week in and week out, you'll never know.
Shaqiri looking for Guti. Brian Gutierrez over the top. Oh, it's in! It's in! The ball driven through by Shaqiri. And it was Brian Gutierrez who put it in the back of the net as he lobbed Steve Clark sprinting off his line. Incisive football, and the Chicago Fire reclaim the lead at Soldier Field.
Yeah, it's cracking here in Chicago. The youngster, the 20-year-old, does exactly what he was subbed in to do in this match, to get in on the end of good service from Xherdan Shaqiri. But look at this. This is composure, this is ability, and this is athleticism as well. The full package. This kid is an absolute baller, and he does it in excellent fashion here. Gets in on the end of this service, is brave as well, I gotta add that. And then the finish here is absolutely perfect. Celebrates to the corner, and you can see what it means.
You can see this big diagonal ball. They draw everybody over, they unbalance, and then they switch the field to play. I would focus on the positives, not so much on the mistakes.
Chris Mueller towards the byline, stands it up.
Andrew Gutman is there. Back in towards Gutierrez, and it's Kuipers on the first time. Gutierrez took a shot. Hugo Kuipers buried his, and Chicago is level, but it certainly came at a price.
This is that good movement. Chris Mueller continues that run. Great ball in. That seam by Shaqiri. Nice little move. Draws in two defenders. Still gets the ball off, but you see Gutman kind of tracking back. He can't get a ton of the header. And Tim Parker and Gutierrez both going for that 50-50. A lot of contact, none of the ball, and he felt every bit of Tim Parker on that collision. And Kuipers puts that one away.
6 minutes of regular time.
Third consecutive corner. In the traffic again, Gutierrez and the header, Turan brings the fire out of their scoring slumber at home, finally. And it's game on with 5 minutes remaining.
When you're struggling to score goals, you just want one of your big men to come and do something, put it in the back of the net. Carlos Turan, he's the man to save Chicago Fire from a bad goal-scoring record there, putting into the back of the net, just being right place at the right time. But someone had to do it, and it's Carlos Turan. Game on. I was just going to say 6 minutes to avoid that record. Fair play, the crowd loving it as well.
Just to put a cork on that conversation. No, hold that thought. Gutman, this is better and more intricate from Chicago. Acosta with a daisy cutter, and it's corner pockets, and the Chicago Fire are level. Well, it almost became a broken play.
Play that's bumped in on the side here. This 1-2 is nice, and then his presence of mind to find the U.S. International. But watch this give and go between Kuipers and the U.S. International. This is very, very good stuff in tight quarters here. Look at this 1-2 back and forth, and then yep, thank you very much, thanks for coming. Kellen Acosta gets his second on the season, and it's very timely for Frank Klopas out of the locker room.
To be Ramiro Enrique for Orlando City, who's going to come on. Ali Selassie.
Oh, good ball.
Threaded through, Souquet. Hugo Kuipers! 1-1! A much-needed goal for Chicago for a multitude of reasons. Pedro Gallese is beat, and we've got ourselves a game with 20 minutes remaining.
It's the split ball to find the feet of Haile Selassie. How about the touch on that pass? Outside of the right foot, on the wrong side of the defender, right into the path of the runner. Souquet, and Kuipers' one-time finish under Galese's arm to give us 1-1 here late in the game. That was a...
It's Gutierrez. Maybe the tonic that they need. Haile Selassie, not completely cleared away. There's the equalising goal. That's why he's here. Hugo Kuipers with the equalising goal for Chicago Fire, who exhale, and now we have a game on our hands.
Just desperate for a response, and it comes from Gutierrez winning the ball from a good spot, and from here he just rides the challenge, and this is where he's at his best, just gliding into that space. He plays a little bit of a 1-2, and it doesn't always have to be pretty. On the wet surface, you just have to track anything that drops down into space. It's a big miss there from Yoshida. You'd expect him to clear that, but Kuipers is optimistic, just hoping for the best, and then slides in to put it in the back of the net. It's a big goal for the Fire. We're all level here. Thought his player had just gotten past her on.
Cheaply given away again. Here's Gutierrez. Oh, wow! The local boy from down the way might just have scored the biggest goal of the season thus far for Chicago Fire.
Starting position in the middle of the pitch, and once again he wins the ball in the perfect spot, and he doesn't hesitate. He drives right at that back line. See the strike, just using the surface. It's excellent technique. Going off one post, then the next. A bit of luck on Chicago's side, but take nothing away from the strike. Gutierrez stepping up. No Shaqiri. Who's going to step up in his place?
Oh, that's a giveaway. Kuipers onto it. Kuipers, it's A huge mistake from Coelho, but his blush is spared. But still dangerous here for Toronto. The header, and it's in! Herbers with pinpoint accuracy on the cross. And Haile Selassie from close proximity.
From the Chicago Fire, it's their press. They're going all over the field here to make a little bit of an awkward build out, one of their own here. Perfect service from Herbers, but the finish there from Haile Selassie is absolutely unsavable. It's down into the corner against the grain where Gavran can't get down quick enough and make the save. You have to understand that Gavran is put in a position where he can't succeed. He picks out one of the bottom corner.
Scored multiple goals against the LA Galaxy. That was the first time they scored. Oh, watch out. Long makes another mistake. Kuipers comes away with it. Kuipers makes Long pay. Chicago reclaimed the lead. And Hugo Kuipers has scored.
This is about Long not understanding the urgency of the moment, but Kuipers understands. He picks him off, and then he gets on his left foot where the defender can't make the challenge, because if Long tries to make the challenge here as Kuipers enters the box, right now, you're going to see a penalty kick awarded. But what Kuipers does, he keeps his poised nature, and he comes alive in the box and gets his 6th on the year by just slotting it home. Gavran cannot make the save. 2-1 at BMO Field.
Luka Gavran had rescued. Good combination play. Arrigoni. Coelho does just enough, keeps it in play, and then gives it away. Haile Selassie, back from Gutierrez, back to Gutierrez, the pullback. Here's Pineda with a strike! Lasered in by Mauricio Pineda. Cleared it.
Yes, there is a mistake here. Look, he tries to go for the Megan Coelho, and then Selassie just comes alive here, but the back here from Gutierrez, the inventive nature just slotted back, and oh yes, this is perfect finishing here from Mauricio Pineda. When you talk about excellence in Chicago, you're talking about the Pineda family. This is absolutely perfect. This finish here, this angle is going to be just brilliant here. Save that, clip it, and make sure you watch this over and over, Mauricio Pineda, whenever you need confidence, because this is perfect here. Chicago Fire to kill this game off through possession is a huge luxury for Frank Klopas. What you're seeing here is Jimenez on the ball. That's what he can do, pull strings.
Herbers, Arrigoni. Cutting inside on the leashing. Oh, that's brilliant. Surgical precision from Arrigoni.
For TFC that they are going to want to forget very, very soon. But you got to give all the credit here to the Swiss man right here. Look, he hits the little shimmy. Oh yeah, and then gets to his left foot. This is beautiful here. This is a player that people do not give enough credit for. He can play on the right side, he can play on the left side. He can defend very well, but he can attack. Look at this, the little irks on the cut, and then yeah, that's going in the back of the net. Gavran can't keep it out. That's beautiful. 4-1.
Chicago are 3 for 3 this season from 12 steps. Will he make them 4 for 4? Haile Selassie, a carbon copy of Luis Muriel's, as he breathes some life into the Chicago Fire.
It's a penalty kick by getting to the end line. He also finishes it as well. He wrong foots Steidehar, then grabs it out of the back.
To Kuipers, every ball contested. Finds an outlet in Haile Selassie. Now Herbers wants to aim that one towards the back post.
Oh.
It's not dealt with! Oh, and the daisy cutter goes in! Hugo Kuipers, Johnny on the spot! And Chicago with yet another lifeline!
Just staying alive and attentive in the 18-yard box. What you're going to see is Kuipers coming alive where he continues his run and getting in the danger zone. Good service, but it's not dealt with well from Orlando. That's a mistake where they're not going to be happy about in the film room here. But watch what Hugo Kuipers does. He just stays alive. He's in an offside spot, but the reason why he's not called for offside is because the service goes off of the Orlando.
They were not included with the first team in training or available here tonight, but will rejoin the team after tonight's match. Great turn from Haile Selassie. Chance to finish one, and he does! The 25-year-old Swiss winger made the most of a turnover just outside the 18. And once again, the Sounders find themselves down. What a start for the Fire.
This is going to be a learning moment for Jackson Reagan. You see, he doesn't have cover. He overcommits. Selassie just slotting it through the legs, getting around him. Haile Selassie just perfectly touches that one. And then at that point, he can go left, he can go right, and he slots that one home. Just cool, calm, collected to give them that 1-0 lead on the road. Phenomenal individual effort. 1-0.
Stephen Fry had been tested already a couple of times here in the first half.
Flock gives it away. Bueno clattering into Acosta. Referee says play on. Charging forward is Herbers. Plays it to Arigoni. Arigoni has options. Arigoni across the set! And at the doorstep, it's put away! Marin Haile Selassie scores in a 4th straight match! And they don't get much easier than that!
Here we go. It starts with the midfield here. Kellen Acosta and Bueno jockeying for position. Aragoni plays it through the midfield. But look at what Herbers, the captain, does. He drives and then plays it at a very timely manner there for Aragoni, who can get forward, put it in the danger zone, and good things will happen for you. If you put it right here, look at what Aragoni does. It causes confusion, chaos, and havoc. The one person who is not confused is Marin Haile Selassie. He gets his 5th on the season, his 4th in just 4 games. He's on an absolute heater. If he keeps this up, the Chicago Fire can get themselves out of the cellar and back to more smiles here in Chicago.
Glesnes and Elliott under the microscope recently. Haile Selassie crosses it, back post header. It's Mueller, it's Kuipers, and this one will count! Head tennis breaking out in the 18 and ending up in the back of the net.
This man has been absolutely balling. There were a lot of questions about him earlier, but he wasn't getting the service. If you get him the service, he's going to score the goals here. I was just talking about how Jack Elliott was having a good game, but he's going to want this one back, because when you're able to rise up in the box ahead of the defenders, yards away from goal, that's what Philadelphia Union do more of.
Haile Selassie looking to continue the bombardment. Plays it to Herbers. Herbers clips it. Chihos attacks it. It's still there for the taking! Gaston Jimenez! Cutting edge from Chicago! From dead and buried to alive and kicking!
Gaston Jimenez, this is absolutely amazing. You see the short corner there. Haile Selassie does a very good job just to slide it over to Herbers, and the captain stands it up. Chihos is battling. I said that Philly needs to clear their lines better. They're not listening, because this is prolific. The finish is excellent. The technique, boom, yep, it's tied. 3-3 here at Soldier Field. Beautiful stuff. When you put substitutes into the game that need to change the game, the designated player.
This crowd in full voice. They anticipate something. Haile Selassie towards the back post. Kuipers! This match has been turned on its head! What a comeback! The Chicago Fire showing resilience, strength of character.
Confusion on the look of every single player in blue and all Philadelphia Union fans. But this is excellent for Marin Haile Selassie. He puts it in an area where only Hugo Kuipers can get it. Look at this service. It's so perfect because it freezes Glesnes, and Jack McGlynn is out of the play. If you give Hugo Kuipers that, he's scoring every single day of the week. This looks like it's a game winner. He goes through the 5-hole and gets his 9th on the season.
Elvis Powell. Chihos flicks it toward the halfway line. Here's a bad header from Keller, and it's a chance for Kuipers. Kuipers driving into the penalty area, cutting it back, and it is turned in. Brian Gutierrez and the Chicago Fire have struck on the counter. A mistake by Keller, and Chicago makes Cincinnati pay 1-0 to the visitors.
Long ball up over the top. You have to feel for Kip Keller. Just gets it wrong. The timing's off. Kuipers recognizes it. Spinning off. Thought he was going to try to go it alone, but instead unselfish. And Gutierrez, the super sub, You wondered why he wasn't in the 11. Squad rotation, the quality of this player and what he can produce in the final third has been the question mark.
Rafa Schihos striding forward. Schihos going for goal himself, and Rafa Schihos from the center back position figures why not? And Chicago are level in South Florida against the Supporter Shield leaders. Go figure.
The lack of recognition by David Ruiz, who just came on. Cello Wagon caught in between. And you know what? Yes, let's strike that ball. Shoelaces through traffic. This time, no chance for Drake Callender. I told you. Dominant in that first half. Can kill this game off to go to 2 and 3. Brady coming up with 2 or 3 great saves, which goalkeepers do to keep you in his game. The change is Frank Lopez
coming in, and that final pass just missing, but that's the change in formation so far has helped him.
Kuipers, can they find something? Kuipers! Yes, they can find something! And how? Chicago back in it!
Have paid off instantly, and you can see here Kuipers just tucking in side with that extra striker has allowed him a little bit more freedom to drift, and he comes out to that right flank and gets faced up one-on-one, and he shows you here cutting across to that left foot. It's just perfect, picking out that back post pass freeze to bring Chicago right back in this.
Well, that is a glorious goal. A major opportunity for Chicago Fire to find a late equalising goal. It's Gutierrez! He smashed it! Chicago Fire grab it! And they take the tie and run for the hills! What a moment!
After a long Leagues Cup layoff, Chicago came out in this match asleep, but the way they fought back and who they've relied on to find the difference, Brian Gutierrez, the 21-year-old home.
Good work from the Colombian. Acosta. Gutierrez! That's more like it from Chicago. It surely is just a consolation prize.
On this game, it's the 83rd minute. You're trailing 3-1 now. That's a good little bit there by Haile Selassie to draw the defender close enough. Right here, ask the questions of Jordi Alba. Acosta makes the run. The challenge comes over, and Gutierrez puts it away. But he makes the right run in the right spot, and you can see Drake Callender not happy about it, giving up the clean.
Haile Selassie. Gubin. Oh, what a hit from Andrew Gubin! And there is hope for the Chicago Fire side.
But watch this corner kick come. It's kind of a long process to get this one in. And the service, and it looks like a defensive clearance. Takes it off the chest, off the bounce chest, lets it drop, and he strikes it so cleanly. And that's like a crossing and finishing drill you do at training with no pressure on you, and he just absolutely buries it. Chicago was showing life in this first 10-12 minutes of the second half.
And they get more goals, Vince, here as well when they're in the opportunities, because New York Red Bull have the roster to be
Oh, that's not dealt with. Kuipers is onto it. Here's Hugo Kuipers. Oh, stiff arm, and Tom Barlow is there to put it away. With a goal at his mercy. Ayla.
Yeah, this is a mistake here from Noah Ayla. He's going to want this one back, and he knows it. He's looking to bump it onto Reyes, but Reyes is covering him. And Hugo Kuipers, you just can't give him this. When we spoke to Tom Barlow throughout the week, I had the opportunity, wasn't in between games like it normally is, but on the broadcast call, I told him, I said, I have so much respect for you because of the way you approach your craft. This right here, you score against your former team, Eric. It's a tap-in. You do not celebrate. I love that from Tom.
Selassie. Away by Reyes. Acosta, that's inviting! Gutierrez! In the 6, where he's supposed to be! And Chicago reclaim their leads!
Get goals off the bench when he is trusted to come into the game. This is excellent. Sandro Schwartz on the flip side of the line made substitutions, and the 2 substitutes scored almost immediately. In Vancier manufacturing it, and then the other substitute scores here. But guess what Frank Lopez does? He says, guess what, Eric? I can do it too. Put in Kellen Acosta into the game. His service is one that has been absolutely excellent in MLS, and Kutsias comes right off of international duty into Soldier Field, pretty much out of O'Hare, and gets a goal.
They clear it with relative ease. This is Lassiter. Couple of step-overs, a lot of flash and panache. Good-looking cross, belted in, and Chicago have fired back! Jonathan Dean, with his first goal in Major League Soccer, has restored hope. It's on in Bridgeview, 1-1.
He does it in it cleanly when he chips this ball across. A little step over there, but he clips it perfectly over the head of Barlow.
Lassiter stings it in. It's lobbed and goes in. Fabian Herbers scores for the first time in 7 months.
So he's been having his way on this left side, doing whatever he wants on his timing. This is a clever header though from Herbers. Not power. It's just placement where he's put it right into that corner. He's reacted. This is too much time. And then there it goes, the header from Herbers into the corner. Kalina can't get there, but that is a clever header. Looks like a scrappy goal, but it's not easy. 1-1.
It was an off-season trade from the Red Bulls. Chicago's made all their substitutions. Acosta! And it's some fall crisp air from Kellen Acosta, who set a benchmarks for games played in a single season.
Top corner. Kalina doesn't even dive. That's an arrow.
Mueller snuck it in behind. Chris Mueller. Chris Mueller! Kalina's there! But it's over to Barlow! And Chicago shows some life with 90 seconds remaining. It's not out of the realm of possibilities, but it was around Tim Ream. And it's 4-3.
It's another booking.
Kalina's taking a caution.
It's 7-goal game potentially here. And did he touch it there, or did he leave it? If he left it, Mueller could well be onside. Hits him behind and doesn't really go for the right finish there, but gets it back, and then he does the right pass, and Barlow follows it up, puts it into the corner.
Well, the Acosta goal, of course, was a point of contention because of Mueller looking like he was in an offside position.
It's well followed up by Barlow there, to be fair to him.
And a rough year back from a hip surgery from Chris Mueller. Would be his 3rd goal contribution.